It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for the MLB DFS Core Plays brought to you by Rotook. Things are heating up in the MLB, and we are starting to see some offenses separate themselves from the pack. The more 2018 data we collect, the more accurate our daily fantasy baseball predictive tools will be. It's time to increase the volume we're playing, and use the Rotook Optimizer's mass multi-equals-entry abilities to hit that lineup that takes us to the moon. As always, Rotook's extensive research tools help set the foundation for these plays. Rotook is the ultimate DFS assistant, combining all of the stats, trends, and research tools you need into a convenient and user-friendly format that cuts the difficulties out of your research, and gets you the money in your pocket quicker, and with less hassle than any other DFS platform. And if you're looking for even more insight into the DFS world, Rotook University has you covered. There you learn strategies, bankroll management, contest selection, and how to put together winning lineups to take your daily fantasy game to the next level. Before you get to the plays, don't forget to give me a follow on Twitter, @MikivEch, for more MLB daily fantasy content. I'm always down to answer your questions, so be sure to hit me up there and get a conversation going. More DFS, SN DFS, Lineup Builder, MLB DFS Picks, FanDuel, DraftKings Core Plays for Friday, May 11th. Sunny Gray, P. Yankees vs. Athletics, DK, $6,700, FD, $6,400, Scherzer, Sale, Verlander. Play one of them on FanDuel, or pick one as your SP1 on DraftKings and move on. I'll have positive matchups, and, yes, Scherzer is in Arizona, but the way he's been pitching, you can't look past that dominance and the clear strikeout upside. I think Sale is probably your safest bet, as Scherzer is prone to give up the long ball from time to time, but you probably can't go wrong with any of these guys. So, let's talk SP2. I'm not going to lie, this feels crazy, but Gray has found his stuff his past two starts, getting through 6 innings in each against two of baseball's best. His last game against the Indians was particularly impressive, striking out 7 with only 2 walks. The strikeout upside has always been there for Gray, and when the Yankees traded for him last season, he had been lights out against weaker opponents. This is the cheapest you'll ever see Gray, and very much feels like an early season pricing inefficiency. Plus, in the first time going up against his former team, I'm willing to buy the narrative, you know, that he wants to go out and put on a performance. The Athletics have plenty of strikeouts in their below-average lineup, so there's a realistic path to Gray finishing the night as the top value on the board. J.D. Martinez, of Red Sox at Blue Jays, DK, $5,000, FD, $4,400. Martinez is the top hitter on today's slate, as he continues to heat up and perform just as we expected him to in Boston. Take a quick look at the consistency using the Rotook player card. In 2018 he's averaging over 10 fantasy points per game, and that's despite getting off to the slow start. Not only does Martinez come into tonight with a .418 WOBA over the past month, but he's also been shooting up the StatCast leaderboard, recording the 5th most barrels in the entire MLB. It's safe to say, he's seeing the ball well right now, and when he makes contact, he's making it count. Using the Rotook Research tab, I can see that all of this combines to where Martinez ties for the top score among all hitters on tonight's slate. Despite the high price tag, you're going to want exposure. I'll be overweight in ownership compared to the field. Nelson Cruz, of Mariners at Tigers, DK, $4,200, FD, $3,700. Sound the alarms. Scream it from the rooftops. And make sure your DFS friends, family, and anyone you care about know SL Nelson Cruz is facing off against an extreme flyball lefty tonight. If you've been around with Matt Boyd, who's pitched well across his first 3 starts, is in for a tough go with that 51% fly ball rate he's sporting, as Cruz is well known to turn those outs into runs. And if the Mariners get to Boyd quickly, the Detroit bullpen has already proven to be one of my favorite relief staffs to exploit. Look, this isn't a small sample size. Cruz has made a career against these type of pitchers. It doesn't happen every single time, but he goes yard more often than not with this setup. The price tag is fair, so don't overthink one of the easiest plays of the day. Justin Bour, 1B, Marlins vs. Braves, DK, $3,300, FD, $3,300. You're going to need some value tonight, and it looks like first base is a good place to target with the power-hungry Bour. Brandon McCarthy is not a good pitcher, to the point where it's almost hilarious how he finds a way to give up the long ball. McCarthy's goal is to be a ground ball pitcher, yet he's coming into this matchup with a 19.2% HR to FB rate, so if he does let you hit it in the air, there's a 1 in 5 chance it's going for a homer. That's wild. If you've seen Bour play, you know that his game isn't designed to hit singles and score you fantasy points on the base paths. This guy is trying to go deep. He wants to swing for the fences and drive in runs. It makes a lot of sense in the heart of a Marlins lineup that doesn't have the roster to string together consistent hits. You're not going to see many rallies or Miami turn the lineup over that often, so the Marlins coaches have to give Bour the green light to try and generate some type of offense. Bour has quietly hit 7 home runs already this season and comes into tonight with .293 ISO against right-handed pitching. That's a lot of upside at a very cheap price, and on a night where pitching is going to force some value in your lineup. You should be targeting power upside from your first base roster to begin with, so Bour really makes a ton of sense to plug in across multiple lineups.